All right, part C of the Gizmo question here. This is weird, right? Where we're not actually typing out code, we're actually just writing a description of how we would make changes to have a method that's called get cheapest gizmo by maker. And um, this is weird, right? I'm kind of upset that the AP just sprung this on us a couple weeks before the test because most of the questions don't look like that. My guess is they're doing it again because this is something that's kind of ungoogleable. So they're going to have you just try and see if you can describe how you would need to change this. Okay, and what I don't like about this is they're very, very specific about how you write these descriptions. So if you look at the end, they had this, and they had some sort of examples like I need a new variable to represent the item that represents the greatest number of times in the list or something like that. And then you have to describe it. All right. So my best guess at this, um, and I just decided to type this one out instead of in Eclipse. I thought it'd be hard to type it out in Eclipse, so I just typed it out in WordPad here. And I'll post this text file here in a second too, if you want to just read that and look at that. Okay, so then after reading that description at the end of this, I went back here and I thought I could just write bullet point answers to this, but I read some more and it doesn't seem like they want us to just do that. Okay, so my description is here. I typed out, and you can either pause the video and read it here. Otherwise, I'm going to post this document, and so it's at the bottom of this. This is like the Gizmo code thing, and then I type my explanation here down here at the bottom, so you can just read it there if you want. It says you don't have to describe the get cheapest gizmo by maker method. So I just put the heading be a public method. I think it would return a gizmo because it says get cheapest gizmo. So I think it would return a gizmo object. And then you have to pass in a maker string because you want to only look at the items that have that maker. Right, so again, you'd be looping through that array list of purchases and checking if it matches the maker and then finding the cheapest one from there. Right, so the other thing you'll need, which I'm actually going to demo here, obviously you can read the description there, but I'm going to demo it in Eclipse here. So this is the Gizmo class, which is where most of our changes would need to happen. And so this is what they gave us. GetMaker is electronic and equals method, but they say there may be instance variables, constructors, and methods not shown, which is definitely true in this, right? So for Gizmo, um, even before part C, you would have to have like a maker variable and like an is electronic variable, right? And then you'd likely have a constructor that takes those in, right? Allows them to be set. And so what we really need for part C is we also need the price, right? Because in order to know the cheapest one, we'd have to have a price. Okay, so one change that I listed in my description was that you need a private double that represents the price of the gizmo. All right. And then since it's a private variable to give access, you'd make a public method, much like the other public methods in here. So you'd have like public double get price, something like that, that just returns the price. So I think I did, obviously you don't have to type the code out, but I tried to describe this method and what it did, right? So I described this variable, then described this method, right? And then the only other thing that I think is not super intuitive here because they don't list it in Gizmo is you also need a way to set this price. So currently there's no way to set it. So I think I put in my description that you need to like pass it into the constructor. So you'd need to like pass in the price and then you need to set it here, or you'd need to make like a set price method, right? And I would much rather just type out the methods, but that's not what they want us to do. So I just had to describe it as best I can and the point of it. So the point of it is to set the price. So you'd have a void set price method that says price equals price in. So they'd need a way to set it, which would either be in the constructor or a set price method. So the changes are an instance variable, change the constructor. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. Price in. You need a set price method, perhaps, and then you definitely need a get price method that's public. Okay, and they said in their description, make sure you list that they're public, list what they do. Um, yeah, so that's my best guess. Sorry, that might not be the greatest for C, but that's my best guess. And again, you don't have to describe the get cheapest gizmo maker based on what they listed in the directions. Right? We do not have to write the code and do not write the program. You do not need to describe the get cheapest gizmo by maker method. So that's my best guess. Hope that helps. If you have any thoughts or feedback, please let me know.